achieved.
Welcome into Studio Day, Heffrey Day Quarantine. Sorry about the last video. Somehow my mic thing on my volume thing on my mic got turned down, so we'll re-record that bad boy. No problem. I'm a one-take guy, but if you can't hear me, that probably requires another take. So the conversation on my YouTube channel was about Dak Prescott yesterday, and somehow this thing has spread back into the Carson Wentz versus Dak Prescott versus Jared Goff thing, which is exhausting, but that's what happens every time that we talk about a player or a contract, is that people want to bring up all the other guys. So here's what I want to do today. I want to help everybody out. I want to give you the honest truth about the Dak Prescott versus Carson Wentz versus Jared Goff debate, okay? Let's do real life here. Not first take, not undisputed, not Skip or Stephen A. or whoever else who they like to yell at each other and your rankings are wrong and mine are right and here's some stats. It's useless. It's entertainment. So if you're watching them for entertainment, that's cool. If you're watching them for sports knowledge, then you're going to find them very lacking. And I welcome you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. And leave in the comments of the video what you want to talk about tomorrow. I'll be happy to take care of you. So I wanted to kind of acknowledge the truth of that 2016 quarterback class, where Jared Goff goes number 1, Carson Wentz goes number 2, and Dak Prescott goes at the end of the 4th round. And honestly discuss, hey, who's the best one of that group? What's the right order? You know, we're trying to put these guys in the proper order. What's the right order? Well, if we're going to be totally honest, the truth is that in 2016, Dak Prescott was the best quarterback of that group. Carson Wentz was second, and Jared Goff wasn't a starter until, the last 7 games of the season. In 2017, Carson Wentz was going to win the MVP until he got hurt, and he was the best quarterback. And Dak was good too. Dak would have been second best, and Jared Goff was the 3rd best quarterback. So Dak's the best, or Wentz is the best. Then we go to 2018. In 2018, Jared Goff was the best quarterback. Carson Wentz is second. Dak Prescott's 3rd. So now Goff is the best, except that the year before that, Wentz was the best, and the year before that, Dak was the best. And then in 2019, Dak was the best. Wentz was second. Goff was 3rd, but Wentz did go to the postseason with an inferior team to what Dak had, but Dak was also hurt. So basically, the honest truth about who is the best quarterback of that group is this. You don't know. We don't know. The more people tell you that they 100% know something about ranking guys, they're full of it. They're trying to have a strong opinion, and they're full of it. If you had to lean, I'll lean towards Dak, barely. And if Wentz had never had an injury, I'd probably lean towards Wentz, barely. CeeDee must be liking this video. You liking this? No, he just wants to play. So that's the truth. The truth is Peyton Manning's rare. The guy who is just going to grab your franchise by the back of its neck and be like, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to win 12 games every year because I won't allow anything else. We're not good at defense. I don't care. I'm the quarterback. I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm a GOAT candidate. I got us. That's not where we're living right now with this group of quarterbacks. Carson Wentz, with good surroundings, is capable of being an MVP candidate. He showed it. Dak Prescott, with a good supporting cast, is capable of being a borderline MVP candidate. He showed that for the majority of last year. Jared Goff, with the right surroundings, is capable of being one of the best quarterbacks in football, or at least top 5-ish. That's what he was in 2018. So all of these guys are capable. All of them are good. And to try to say, like, my order's right and that order's wrong, well, it depends what year and who was around him. And that is the life of an NFL quarterback. You are not going to find guys in the NFL right now that are pulling a Peyton Manning and just dragging a franchise along. What happens to Pat Mahomes if he didn't go to Andy Reid and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce? I don't know. I think that he was going to succeed regardless, knowing what we know about him now. I think he was. But the idea that this guy, greater than sign, that guy, okay, maybe for whatever stretch of games you're talking about. Now, as we play 2, 3, 4 more years, if one of these guys is clearly better than the other ones for that entire stretch, cool, crown him. But for now, the answer to who is the best out of Dak and Wentz and Goff is Dak was once, Wentz was once, Goff was once, and then Dak was again, except Wentz beat him for the division. So you don't know, and that's okay. Just surround them all with good players and try to win the Super Bowl. Got it? Great. Okay, so you can watch the TV shows as long as you're doing it for entertainment value and not to go tell your friends, well, this is what Orlovsky said. He said it was, and then Foxworth hit him with this, and Foxworth did hit him with facts. But whatever. Stop. I do sports radio. That's supposed to be the whole thing with sports radio is debate. But I'm not down for that style of sports radio, and I'm glad that I'm not. So leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow, but that is the great debate of the 2016 quarterbacks. Dak might have an early edge so far in their careers. Wentz might be in second. Goff might be in third. But ask me after this year. We'll see. Other things that people wanted to talk about today. And let me see here. Jordan left in the comments yesterday. He said, Tolo here. Who emerges as the better wide receiver between Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup? My money's on Lamb. I think he'll feed off the energy of the star and outshine Cooper. And I agree with him. And I do like predictions. You know, I don't like the staged debate about better than. But in terms of projecting a guy's career based on what I know about him, I think that CeeDee Lamb is going to have the best NFL career of the receivers on the Cowboys roster right now. And that's putting a lot on him. Gallup's already had an 1,100-yard year as a second-year player. Cooper's already had a handful of 1,000-yard seasons and maybe one of the top 10 receivers in the league. But that's what I think of CeeDee Lamb as a prospect. I think there will be a consistency to CeeDee Lamb's game that two teams have been left wanting from Amari Cooper, both the Raiders and the Cowboys. You have things at the end of the year where you look back and you're like, what happened to Amari? And I want to say at the end of last year what happened was, well, he couldn't get along with his receiver coach, but is that a red flag on the coach or the player? We don't know. And I want to say, well, he was just banged up. And so, you know, he couldn't do what you would expect him to do. But it's two franchises that have kind of looked at it the same way, like, what's going on there? And I don't think you're going to get that with CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb's got that dog in him where it's just like, line him up, let me tear somebody up. Watch him block. That's how you know somebody's got that dog in him for football. Watch CeeDee Lamb block. He wants to block. But obviously, that's down the list of what you care about for a receiver. But I think he'll be a better red zone guy than Amari Cooper. I think he's better when the ball's outside his frame. Cooper's the better route runner for sure. Cooper's probably the better athlete. But CeeDee is, I mean, he can make bad throws into good throws. They're both good after the catch. I think he helps you in the red zone. I think his hands are phenomenal. So I believe CeeDee Lamb is going to be the best receiver on this Cowboys team. Not right away, but I think by year 2 it actually happens. That's my bold prediction. Let me see. Colin says, hey, Jeff, great show. I asked with the caveat that we don't know what the defense will look like, but based on the current personnel and the defensive staff's history, how do you think the defense will look stylistically at the end of the year? And Eric also said 3-4 or 4-3 or a little of both. The Cowboys defense, I believe the answer to that question is little of both. And I think you can take nuggets from what all sorts of different people have said to try to figure out what they're going to do. Stephen Jones was mentioning a position called DPR, designated pass rusher, which is more of a 3-4 thing where you have kind of your outside linebacker, but he's just going to rush the passer on certain downs. And then you listen to Gerald McCoy, and he said, no matter what we line up in, my job will remain the same. And his job is going to be to line up over a guard and get into the backfield. That's a 3 technique and a 4-3. So I think they are a 4-3 defense. But I also think what's about to happen is they're going to be adaptable. They're going to change based on their opponent. They're going to change based on down and distance. They're going to get more aggressive, which to me is the most exciting part. The Cowboys have been one of the teams that blitz the least in football. I think that's about to change. I think they're about to start challenging wide receivers at the line of scrimmage with their corners. So I think they're going to try to make it harder on offenses, be a more attacking defense, and be multiple. Sometimes you'll see a 3-man line. Sometimes you'll see a 4-man line. But they're going to be a 4-3 defense, even though they'll be in a 4-2 more often than anything else, just like everybody else in the league, because so many people use 3 wide receivers. But I'm excited about the potential of the defense. I think they're going to make it a priority to turn the ball over, disrupt the timing on routes, get after the quarterback, instead of sitting back and trying not to break. They were bend, don't break. Now I think they're going to be a team that gives up plays, but they try to cause big plays as well. So that's what I think you're going to see from the defense. Brian said, Jeff, do you trade Michael Gallup for a first or second rounder if said team offered? He has one more year after this season. No! You guys need to cut it out. I just yelled no, so my dog probably thinks whatever he's doing at the moment is wrong. No. The strength of this team is Dak, Amari, CeeDee, Gallup, Jarwin. Offensive line. That's the strength of the team. You want to get overwhelming force on the strength of your team, and that's what they have right now. Now, listen, I'm a team builder. So if you offer me a good enough deal, I'd probably trade anybody. But I'm not even trying to think about that right now. I'm trying to think about, holy cow, look at the 3 receivers that we got, and let's go win the Super Bowl. The beauty of it is they have decisions that they get to make later. Gallup's got 2 years left on his deal. Amari Cooper's got 2 years of his extension that are guaranteed, and then he's out of guaranteed money. So you're in a spot where 2 years from now you can make decisions with tags and trades or whatever you want to do. But for now, live in the present of you've got 3 really good wide receivers, a good pass-catching tight end, running backs that can catch, a good quarterback, and an offensive line, and go to war with it. Stop trying to trade my players. Thank you. All right, leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I love you guys. Sorry about the technical snafu on the earlier video, which I will delete shortly. But subscribe to the YouTube page, Jeff Kavanaugh, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Make sure you're checking 1053thefan.com every day. I love you guys. Happy quarantine day, Heffrey Day. Hang in there. If you're having struggles, hang in there. I am. Had therapy earlier today. It was good. And I love you all. All right.